I'm making this video because I was looking for inspiration and I found a profile of Struthless. I don't even know if I pronounce it properly, but I went to his channel and I wanted to see the first video that he made like many years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago. I went there and I watched that one video and I really enjoyed it. I really liked the flow. I liked the energy. I thought the guy is very intelligent and inspiring. I enjoyed his style and I saw those tattoos and he's very creative. And I also looked at the videos that he had later on and they were like cartoon videos and so on. I really like that. After those drawing videos, I saw other videos like interviewing rappers, interviewing people in the music industry, creative industry, right? I didn't really look through all the content. I was just really hyped to see that journey from first video, which had more advising, soft, feely life coaching, okay? Like a kind of self-help kind of advice. I enjoyed that. I liked it. It's development. It's personal development. And then I wanted to see the most recent video. And as I started playing it, one of the first things that he says, and by the way, he looks very different energy, different flow, different even voice and manner of speaking. I would not know that this is the same person, but it's him, right? And he says in that video that he was addicted to drugs and alcohol and he overcome it, right? And I'm thinking, was he already taking drugs when he was creating content at the beginning when I saw him? Was he highly functioning, highly performing drug addict and alcoholic, social alcoholic that maybe doesn't even have the awareness of being addicted? Or was he actually becoming like that through the content he was creating, through the interviews he was taking, through the people he started surrounding himself, and what he was absorbing, consuming, what his mind was consuming? Because it's really environment. It is the content that we consume affects us. It's like the food that we eat is building, shaping our bodies. If we eat some types of foods and large quantities and often, we will just become unhealthy. The food can be our medicine, can treat us or can make us ill. And the same applies, from my perspective, the same applies for the content that we consume. So what we listening, watching, hearing, discussing, the people that we have around us, this is affecting how we become in our minds. And then we will see the results of that. Our life will show us the results of that. And it's not only how we feel, it is who we become to ourselves and to others. Because the content that I feed my mind with is something that becomes the diet, the nutrition to my mind, to my thinking, to my beliefs, to my feelings, and ultimately how I behave, right? I stopped watching TV many years ago, maybe like 10 years ago. I didn't even have a TV for like 8 years at all. Then now I have a TV, I don't really watch news. I watch movies sometimes, but for me, listening to news is something that happens accidentally if I am in public transport or driving a car, or I can hear the information from radio. I can talk to people and people carry some news and they can just share like, oh, did you hear about this and this? What do you think about this and this situation, this event in this country, la la la. So you kind of soak in the news anyway, even if you do not directly try and strive to feed yourself with news. So I don't have to watch TV. I don't have to start the program at 7:30 every evening just so I can get my dose of the information about what's going on in my country and abroad. It sounds like I'm ignorant, right? But this is a choice that I make because what I am consuming through the news that I would feed myself cyclically, like regularly, every day, will become a me. This is my food. It's my nutrition to my mind. It's why do I pay attention to who are my friends? Where am I spending most of my time? Who I'm talking to? What kind of subjects I'm talking to? If I would not be paying attention to what I consume through any other channels, if this is through reading newspapers or through watching news or listening to the radio. So for me, content is the information, and this information can be uplifting and inspiring and adding value to my life and bringing interesting perspective that develops my thinking and makes me wonder. And at the same time, it can be a content that it's repetitive, that is aimed to make people more worried and anxious and try to watch more news. Because this is a business, it's a massive business. The news that we watch, they're pre-selected for some reason, and I don't want to be part of the scheme. I'd like to subscribe to a scheme where I select the content that I want to interact with. That's why we have those podcasts, we have those YouTube channels. We have content that we can select and absorb if we want to, and we want to become like the content that we consume. Because that's always the case. It's nice to be aware of it, because then we realize we have a choice. And really, the best stories that we can consume, watch, absorb are the ones written by life itself. So by going out there and having life after work and life within work, having those stories, meeting people who bring different angle, different perspective, wisdom, something that helps us, something that makes us feel appreciated. These are the individuals that create stories for us, and they carry stories, and talking to them, it's amazing. And after my last episode about what shaped me, what content, what work, and how I read, how this shaped me, I think it's not really a surprise that I really feel very compelled to use my passion for coaching, passion for interviewing, passion for podcasting, merge it all together and bring a guest and have a conversation, constructive conversation about their stories, about who they are, how they became where they are, how they maintain the energy level in their 80s. I need to tell you the story of the lady that played golf with me, and I am not a bad golfer. I got to some semi-finals, which is really awesome. And she's 81 years old. On the day that she won with me in that semi-finals in golf, she also won with 30 other ladies that play golf that day. So she won 2 competitions in one day. This is insane. It's so inspiring to see someone at the age of 81 having the stamina, the energy, positivity, drive, and character to really hold such a great form. This is definitely someone I would love to interview. So I hope this will happen. And conversations like that, people like that, they carry the content, they carry the stories, they are the inspiration that we should have within our lives. And I guarantee you there are people around you that you can find inspiring and you can admire them for what they accomplished, who they became. Think about someone in your surrounding, maybe in your family, maybe your neighbor, maybe at school or work. Just think about someone that you admire and have a conversation with them. Give them a call, have a walk. Be mindful about what comes into your life, because you become like the content you consume. So invite the content that other people lived through, because they create the most beautiful stories that you can be inspired and live through as they telling you what they lived through. That's why just be curious about how people overcame challenges in their lives. Be curious about what are the highlights, who they are to themselves, what they stand for. There must be something that inspires you to reconnect to something that's important to your journey. It's like peer mentoring or just being mentored, and use this opportunity to socialize and learn from each other. If you find this content inspiring, if there's some value and takeaway for you from this content, subscribe for more. Take care.